This is the Geoffrey and Richie Show. All sports, all talk.
Hello there, and welcome to the Geoffrey and Richie Sports Show. I'm Richie Benno. Thanks for tuning in, and I'd like to say a very good morning to my colleague Geoffrey Boycott. Literally, good morning, Geoffrey.
Morning, Richie. Morning, everybody.
How are you?
Well, let me just start the show by saying I'm not a morning person, and it's the morning. So, brilliant. Listeners, you are going to enjoy this.
They
You
are.
really are.
I think they'll also appreciate the commitment to the cause that we're showing here.
Yes, it's currently 8:18 a.m.
Yeah, absolutely.
Friday.
GMT
Yeah,
for the listeners of worldwide.
and I'm feeling a bit sort of, I think, shell-shocked is the word.
Yeah.
To my left is a glass of
beer.
water,
As usual.
rather than a beer. And indeed, Richie seems to have some kind of flavoured water, pink water.
Yeah, indeed.
Um,
It's red martini.
And I think that says potentially where this show's going to go. It may not be as controversial as normal. You just don't know. Let's see.
Let's see. Where do you want to start?
I mean, whenever you ask me that, there's only one place I do start, and that's football.
This is true.
So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the issue of the England captaincy, because the last time we spoke, it still hadn't been confirmed as to what Capello was going to do regarding the John Terry alleged infidelity and payoff and whatever else.
I think you can use plural there. I think you can say infidelities.
Well, okay.
Alleged.
Allegedly, allegedly we can. But anyway, yeah. So since then, obviously Terry has been ousted as captain. I think rightfully so. The suggestion is, although I was reading yesterday that it's not official, that Rio Ferdinand will be installed as his replacement.
Right.
But I still would say, given the controversy surrounding the drugs test that he didn't attend, and some other, I think, sex-related issues regarding a video he was apparently in.
I like the way you put that.
I don't believe Capello has necessarily thought to himself, I'm definitely going to have him as my captain because I need to watch this video first.
Do you think he's considered the sex-related issues as you put it?
Well, he should have done if he hasn't. I think what I'm plumping for is Steven Gerrard as captain, really. I don't know whether I've made this last bit up about the fact that Ferdinand isn't definitely the captain, but
No,
I'm sure he hasn't been unveiled, has he?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, it's not the time to go be doing that, is it? Let's be honest. There's no point having some kind of big press conference ceremony and say, here is my new captain.
And then the papers, the papers will inevitably, once they do that, will dig, won't they? So
Yeah, they will. And you're right, Rio has got the history, but at the end of the day, he's vice captain. Your vice captain is there to captain the side if your captain does not. And, he is the logical choice. But I agree with you. He has got the, how can we put it nicely, the checkered history. And, of course, even at the moment, he's got one or two issues with the FA surrounding bans and everything else. So, okay, most players have that at some point in their careers, but it's ironic the timing of it all. But
speaking of irony,
go on then.
Ashley Cole.
Oh. I think the gods of fate that should have been aiming towards Wayne Rooney's metatarsal have clearly found they found a more comical route to go down, and they're thinking, well, this will cause more problems. Yeah,
It's hilarious.
3 months. I mean, he should be back in time.
Yeah, you
and
would
should
hope
be
so.
fit. But there's friendlies before then.
Yeah, and you never know with broken bones, do you? He's broken his ankle, isn't he? Which it's serious.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So, who's to say that he will be back in 3 months? And obviously, it opens the door for, two very close friends to play alongside each other.
Doesn't it just? They're probably texting
Team
each
Bridge
other.
and Team Terry.
They're probably texting each other at the moment, just congratulating each other.
Just cracking up at the circumstances. But
surely, I'm not a spiritual person or anything else, but somebody somewhere really has thought, this is the way to go. This is what I want. If I'm going to intervene at any point here, now's the time to do it. It is just comical. It really is. And
one thing I would say, and I'm sure I could have dreamt this, I'm not sure, it's still early, but people, I'm sure, have been coming out saying Wayne Bridge isn't actually that good a left-back, and that we've potentially got better players that can fill that role.
I don't think he's nailed on number 2. If that's what.
I don't think I could be wrong here. James Milner.
He was used at left back in one of the England friendlies, but Stephen Warnock's got a lot of praise this season from Villa. So I mean, obviously he hasn't got too many caps. I don't know how many caps he's got, to be totally honest. But I do kind of wonder if... I mean, you would think that Bridge historically would be the number 2.
I've never thought he's that good, though, have you? I mean, he's decent.
I've rated him. I think I've rated him, yeah. I mean, obviously he's only just come back from injury, so, you know, he's got to get match fit and prove himself and everything else. So, you know, I think, you know, if you look at England's squads over the past 2, 3, 4 seasons, you know, if Ashley Cole's fit, you would think that Wayne Bridge would be the person that would step in. So it is an interesting scenario, and I see that Chelsea have given Terry a few days leave to address matters in his private life. And
tough times. I think that's a trip to Dubai, isn't it? So I feel for him.
It is.
I really do
see
feel
the wife
for him.
And kids. Tough times.
Yeah, I mean it's either Chelsea, Carlisle, is it, or something ridiculous?
Well, in the cup,
in the FA Cup,
somebody like that.
Or,
your knowledge is better than mine.
Or Dubai.
Tricky.
I mean, I don't know. It's a tough old life when you've been unfaithful and paid for someone's.
Allegedly. Got to slip that word in, allegedly, all the time. So, I mean, obviously, just getting back to the actual football side of it.
I think we should.
I mean, just talking about Chelsea, not the best of few days for them, in fairness.
Well, no, but obviously there was a massive game for them at the weekend against Arsenal, and did you watch that game?
I did watch the game, yeah.
I've got to say, I felt for Arsenal a little bit there. I mean, Chelsea are lethal. There are no two ways about it. You can dominate a game and still come out as losers, and indeed that's pretty much what happened to Arsenal. They play some decent stuff. They really do struggle without a top class. I mean, as we've spoken before, a top class striker up top.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous because, yeah, you're right. They more than deserve something out of that game, and you know what you're going to get from Arsenal. You know, if you're Chelsea, you could almost be saying, look, let them have the ball. You know, don't go chasing it too much. Just hold our shape, and then we'll get them. And that's exactly. I mean, you know, an early goal was perfect from a Chelsea point of view, obviously. But I do think that, I mean, why he hasn't brought anybody in, Wenger.
Well, he's saying,
really don't
because
know.
He's been on the defensive on that front, hasn't he? Recently, he's saying that.
Well, he should be. He should be under attack about it.
Who is there that's out there that he should buy? I know they've been linked with some chap called Chamak from Bordeaux.
Yeah, and obviously
like
they were linked with Carlton Cole, you know, throughout the transfer window.
But who is there out there that's quality?
I'm sorry, Carlton Cole is a better striker than Nicholas Bendtner.
Okay, all right.
You can't deny that.
So you're going to say Ngog, and I was going to flip.
Well, let's just save that one because let's just save that one. But I mean, there's no denying Van Persie is quality, you know, and he is first choice for them. But at the moment, obviously being injured, they just look light. Eduardo isn't going to, you know, he physically doesn't have the capabilities. He's a small guy. Yes, he's good at what he does. They just need that better striker, frankly, than they've currently got.
And you do think if they did have that person, because they've pretty much got everything else in
Absolutely.
place. I mean,
Absolutely.
they are inundated with world-class midfielders that can, you know, pass the ball till they're blue in the face. They've got a very good defensive unit. I'm not so convinced on their keeper, but he did pull off a great save against from Babel's shot. But yeah, it's just literally up top. That is where they struggle, and I mean everyone knows that. We're not breaking any ground here. But obviously, following on from that, Chelsea then had a game against Everton during the week, and amusingly they lost.
Absolutely, and Terry looked shaky.
Geoffrey and Richie.
To download the full version of the Geoffrey and Richie Sports Show in its entirety, including more football talk, a rundown of the goings-on in the world of cricket, and our US sports reporter Brad Benjingley is on to discuss the Super Bowl, go to iTunes. We are the Geoffrey and Richie Sports Show. You can email us. Our email address is geoffreyandrichie@hotmail.co.uk. You can check out our blog. That's geoffreyandrichie.libsyn.com. We are on Facebook, and we're also on Twitter as well. The username is G&R_podcast.
This is the Geoffrey and Richie Show. All sports, all talk.